Okay, so I am going to review how to find the area of a regular polygon. So we do our 4-step process. Step 1 is to make triangles. Step 2 is to find an angle. Step 3 is to find base and or height. And step 4 is to find the area. Okay, so looking at this first question, you are going to first make triangles. So you could draw like every single one of the triangles, but I just like to draw one right triangle, but feel free to draw all of them if you want. And then I'm going to take that triangle out, and the 11 right here is going to go right here, which is the hypotenuse. And then also it wouldn't hurt to count the number of sides. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 sides. So the number of sides is 9. And that would be helpful to us later in the question. Okay, now we're on to step number 2, find an angle. So we're going to find an interior angle of the regular polygon. So we're going to use the 180 times n minus 2 divided by n. So 180 times n is 9 sides minus 2 divided by 9. So when we do that, we get 140. But when we look at our picture, we actually took that angle and split it in half right here. So that 140 also has to be split in half. So now we have 70. So we are going to put that 70 in the picture right there at that bottom corner. Okay, now step number 3. We're going to find base and or height. So it depends on the question and what's provided originally. They gave us the hypotenuse, so we actually need to find the base and the height. So to do that, since we have a 70-degree angle there, we cannot use 30, 60, 90. We cannot use 45, 45, 90. So we are going to use trig. So you can use sine, cosine, or tangent. And you can look at your yellow toolkit for that. On the test, you'll have the toolkit that has it on there already provided for you. So I'm going to start just by finding the base. So I'm just going to use pink here. To find the base, I'm going to use the base and the 11, and I'm going to ignore this h, act like it's not even there at all. So when I do that arrow for opposite, there's nothing there. And then 11 is the hypotenuse. Here, I'm actually going to use a different color. That would be useful. Let's use like hot pink here. 11 is the hypotenuse, and B is adjacent. So adjacent and the hypotenuse would be cosine. So I'm going to say cosine of 70 over 1 equals, A goes on top, so adjacent, which was B, over H goes on bottom, which is hypotenuse, which is 11. So then we cross multiply, B times 1 is B, equals 11 times cosine of 70. So we're going to round 4 on our work. So we get B equals 3.7622. I like to circle it just to keep my stuff organized. So then we can also put it there, 3.7622. Okay, then I'm going to find H. So I'm going to use a different color just so you can see what's going on. I'm looking for H. I'm going to use that 11 again. You could use this side with trig or Pythagorean theorem, but I'm going to use numbers that aren't rounded and try to get most accurate answers. So it would be okay if you had used that number though, but in mathematician land that wouldn't be okay. So we know that for this situation the height is opposite, and I'm using the 11, so that's hypotenuse. So O and H is going to be sine. So I'm going to write sine of 70 over 1 equals opposite over hypotenuse. And then I'm going to cross multiply. So H equals 11 times sine of 70. So 11 sine of 70 is 10, H is 10.3366. So now I have all the pieces I need to find the area. Last step. So to find the area, I'm going to go over here. So that's step number 4, area. To find the area, I need to find the area of one triangle and then multiply by the numbers of triangles, because then it's like kind of puzzle piecing together to create that regular nonagon, 9 sides. So the area of a triangle is 1/2, so I'm going to split this up here. 1/2 times base times height, so I'm going to plug in those numbers, 3.7622 times height, 10.3366 times how many triangles are there? And we're talking right triangles. So if there are 9 sides, for every side you get 2 triangles. So there's going to be double the amount of sides is the number of triangles you have. So 9 times 2 is 18. So then we're going to plug all that in. 1/2 times 3.7622 times 10.3366 times 18. I am currently double checking to make sure I put all my things in there right. And we get 349.995. So when you're rounding 2 decimal places, 349.995 becomes 350.00 units squared.